I think the recording was started. Just a second. अस्मद् गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत् परम गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत् सर्व गुरुभ्यो नमः श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह परब्रह्मणे नमः श्री लक्ष्मी अयवदन परब्रह्मणे नमः सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. We'll start the lecture soon. I thought that I probably can finish the entire Upanishad today based on Sampatanga's view. I think there's still the Shanti mantra, Apyayantu Mamangani. That is the last section. I don't know why he put it in the last. He should have explained it in the very beginning, but he preferred to explain in the last. So that has to be explained. Maybe I should take it up later, some other time. Yeah. By the way, how many of you have seen that Yuval Harari's views on artificial intelligence and religions? Anybody? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Have you, or how many of you have seen that Yuval Harari's video on it, on Davos? Davos, or however you spell it. In that meeting, he gave some of his views on what artificial intelligence is doing to people, and particularly to the religions, and the religions which go by the book. See, that could go to any religion. It doesn't matter. I can make Vedas and Hinduism as book oriented or too textual oriented. What they call it as literary view of the religions or something like that. So they take the words very, very deeply. The words are everything. So human beings and interpreters are almost irrelevant when the words become the final. So if they take the word so seriously, and what that Yuval Harari says is that one day the artificial intelligence, very shortly, and that one day is not too far away, right? Artificial intelligence will be the only most learned expert in any religion, which bases a lot of importance, which gives a lot of importance to words only. Do you understand what he's saying? I will leave it to you.
The summary.
What?
I kind of missed the summary, sorry.
No, I'm asking a question. If a religion bases everything on words only, that means the scriptural sentences, they are the final word, right? Suppose I do, it doesn't matter how you interpret it or how people interpret it, it doesn't matter. Understand the words. That means what he's saying is, right now, there is no human being pretty much who understands all this text perfectly, right? What he's saying is, if I feed all the text into an artificial intelligence system, then what's going to happen is the AI will become the most learned religion, knowledge, most learned entity which knows a particular religion, which bases everything on the words. That's just information. Words are information, right? So what happens is you're giving no human being will know as much as an AI system would know about a religion. What is
they are assuming there is no realized human being.
No. See, there is a problem. See, this is something which Wayne G can help us out. I'm not sure. Because if see, the thing is, two religions we already know, right? That is three religions. The Semitic religions are, they're all book. They claim that they are religions based on the books. Okay, and what does it mean? Does it mean that human interpretation is unnecessary, or human interpretation has to be always subservient or less important than what is said in the book? This is a question to think about. I'm not sure. I don't understand how people view. In fact, that's why I just left it to your thought process. Look at Yuval Harari's video I sent on religions and how an artificial intelligence system one day can be better than any human being in understanding a religion, right? This is a very complex problem for any religion. There's not, but they call it that we are the religion of the book, right? And the Hinduism and Buddhism and maybe some other paganism or something like that may not completely give the control to the book. They say interpretation is everything. You have books. You may have 1,000 books. In fact, um, you'll be surprised how Vedanta is reinterpreted by yogis and the current day realized people. In Hindu tradition, it is very normal. Even if there is a particular event or something which happened in the Ramayana. I was reading, how many of you have studied a very controversial topic in Ramayana called Shambhūka Vadha? Shambhūka Vadha means a person called Shambhūka is killed by Rama for some reason. Has anybody
Yes,
learned
sir, I
about
read it. I heard about it. He was actually from a lower caste and he was sitting upside down and chanting some prayer. So Rama came and cut his head.
Correct. You're right. So the thing is, he is from
He
the
wanted
Shudra
to go
Varna.
to heaven with this human body, this mortal body.
Mortal body. Okay. So the thing is, it is a very complex philosophical problem. But the thing is, I was reading a very interesting interpretation given by a yogi today. Okay. So how this particular event is used by politicians today to abolish anything called a caste or anything like Varna, Jati, and all those things. In the DMK party in Madras and Tamil Nadu would say Hinduism has to be destroyed, like how COVID has to be destroyed. He says anything Sanatana Dharma should be destroyed because it is a COVID. You cannot let COVID live because COVID is going to eat you up and kill you anyway, right? So Sanatana Dharma has to be destroyed. That's what he says, right? So what it is they're using like episodes like the Shambhūka Vada to completely ignore, destroy, devalue Sanatana Dharma. The yogi, what he said, he gave a different interpretation, which is very interesting interpretation. I will let you know one day what he said. It's an interesting view. Why am I saying all these things is the texts have to be reinterpreted, understood properly based on kāla, time, and situation. How you apply those rules based on changing world order, changing lives. It's very, very important. That is why you need experienced people to guide. It is very lucky that I was very happy that even from a very, very young age, I was always looking for the best expert, not the textbook, the best expert. And I found my grandfather, who was an expert in yoga, and it was very nearby. See, you can never find the best expert in the entire world because that person doesn't come in front of you. When you're growing up, be real. Wake up, smell the coffee. The reality is you're living in some city somewhere, and your parents have moved because your father got transferred or something, you don't find the right people around you. It's very difficult to find the right people around you. Based on what I knew, my grandfather was grandfather's brother. In fact, he was not even my direct grandfather. My grandfather's brother was very, very interesting personality. So I got some guidance from him for 4 years in my life. Then I moved to some Anatarangacharya, S.M. Srinivasacharya. All of them were very accomplished people. Even my N.T. Srinivasanga, Sanskrit teacher, all of them were accomplished people. I always went lucky. I was very lucky that I had the connection with these people. Somehow, the divine Lord blessings and the blessings of so many everybody other than me has blessed me to get the right connects. And K.S.V. Swami, who was recommended to me that he was one of the best available. It was wonderful meeting him and having his direct connect for about 13 years. So what I'm saying is, we need human connection. If we lose it, and if an AI can do mistakes. For example, today, I'm just giving you, obviously the AI is not perfect today. I am not digressing. I'm coming to the topic today, but I'm not digressing too much. See, I want to connect with all of you because all of you are bombarded with 2,000 views from different people, from the internet, WhatsApp groups, because you don't meet people around, you don't go to their homes and learn, right? When I grew up, I had to drive. I mean, I didn't have a car or anything. I had to take my bike and cycle for 15 minutes or 10 minutes to get to my grandfather's home, and then sit down with him happily and see face to face, ask questions, and he would see my emotion in my face, whether I'm interested or not, whether I'm serious or not. Only then he would answer. This is not available for human beings today. We are all guided, and we think that anything on the internet is perfect. For example, I just found today one thing, right? In the same class, at the end, the tapas is what do you call there is a term called tapas, and that tapas is explained, and some Taittiriya verses explains this, the nature of tapas or something. Let me show you that verse. That way you know what I'm talking about. Just a second. What did I do? Hold on a second. I'm here. 1 second. I'm going to share my PPT. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, we can see the Kena Upaniṣad lecture 74.
74. I will just look at this. Where did I? Okay. I'm going to come to this later on, but the thing is, I'm just going to show you an example of what the computer does, right? Okay. There is a verse called Ratam tapaha, satyam tapaha, shrutam tapaha, shantam tapaha, danam tapaha, yajñas tapaha, bhūrbhuvassu varbrahmopasveretat tapaha. There may be some mistake in this mantra here. When I sent this to ChatGPT or aistudio.google.com, it comfortably said that, oh, I can recognize this. This is from the Taittiriya Upanishad, Shikshavali, it said. I had studied when I was young. I had to by heart Shikshavali because that is a general Taittiriya mantra used in daily worship. So I had to memorize it. I never found a statement. I could never remember this. Then suddenly I thought my mind is going crazy. Then I started asking the same chat GPT, are you sure this is in the Shikshavali section? Are you sure, really? I do not find it. It could be in a Taittiriya Aranyaka somewhere. I'm just guessing because my grandfather had mentioned in another particular place somewhere, oh, this is the mantra from Taittiriya Aranyaka. Taittiriya Aranyaka is different from Taittiriya Upanishad. So the name sounds similar. So then I gave ChatGPT an input saying that you might be totally wrong. I never found it in Shikshavali. Think and let me know if you can find it in Taittiriya Aranyaka. It comes back and says, oh, you're right. I made a mistake. Thank you for correcting. Now I can look into and see this is in Taittiriya Aranyaka, Prashna 10. So that is a computer. You gotta understand, these are all computers. They may make mistakes. The funny thing is, I asked another question. There is a Shanti mantra called Apyayantu Mamangani. That is the Shanti mantra, the beginning prayer. Before you start reading Kena Upaniṣad, you are supposed to chant the Shanti mantra. And I asked, has Shankaracharya commented on the Shanti mantra? Of course he has. ChatGPT said, of course he has. And let me explain to you what Shankaracharya said. It gives a big explanation of what Shankaracharya said. Then I looked around in the another textbook and said, I did not find Shankaracharya's commentary on it. Then I asked ChatGPT, I cannot find it in Shankaracharya's commentary. Are you sure he commented at all? Maybe some later Advaita teacher commented on it. Then ChatGPT corrects itself and says, you're right. A later Advaita teacher like Shankarananda or Upanishad Brahma Yogin commented on this verse. So what does it mean? AI today is not perfect. But what Yuval Harari is saying that one day it may be perfect and you will never be able to beat AI. Even then, what is going to happen is there is bias and there are complexities in AI. So you should not take it seriously. That's not the only point I'm trying to raise. I'm trying to raise a very fundamental problem with people today. They are studying through internet. We are communicating without even meeting each other. You don't even know what is my mood today, right? You know, did I come from a hospital? Did I come from a funeral home? After somebody's funeral? You have no idea, right? So what happens is you're unable to even process what I say, saying that today he may be off mode or he may not have prepared. Maybe he was sleeping all afternoon before he picked this up. He didn't say it right. So you won't know much of it by this kind of a communication. So what I'm suggesting to all of you is think deeply. Don't think that what you learned from the computer or from any of these kind of discussions as final. You have to do your own contemplation. Think back, go back to the textbook. Even when studying your engineering or commerce or your business school or whatever you study, right? What would you do? You go back and do your homework. You think, you try to solve problems. You try to write up. You try to do homework. We have no homework in our classes. So we don't test people, but you have to do it on your own, right? Only then you will rethink and come back and say there's something wrong. I need to think back and come back. So you understand that most people today, including me, are in a disadvantaged world where direct human connect is going away. And that definitely gives you a disadvantage because you won't know things properly. You have to have the tenacity, tolerance to mood swings and situations, and still work hard to study and understand the real philosophy and truth. Am I making sense so far?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Good. Let's start the class today. Sorry for the big deviation. I'm going to share from the beginning. Okay, we are in lecture 74. I'm going to take it slow today. We can even open up for question answer at maybe at like at 8:30 or something like that. because how much ever I can cover, I will cover. I don't want to rush through. It may take 1 or 2 days more, 1 day maybe. So let's leave it at it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. This is where we are. Why is it messed up? Oh, 1 second. Just a second, there's some problem here. This is not showing properly. Wait, what is that one? Oh, yeah. Just messed up. Oh, this doesn't allow me to. Can you see this? Or slightly better, I think. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah. So we are now in Kena Upaniṣad chapter 4. This is the discussion between Uma and Indra, right? So I want to point out where we are. We have finished 4 and 5, and tadhavanam, tadvanam nama, tadvanam ityupasitavyam, saya etademam veda abhihainagam sarvani bhutani samvanchanti. We finished that also. Upanishadam, then Indra says, Upanishadam bho bruhi ityukta, bruhi, and Uma answers, ityukta te Upanishad, brahmīm vavat te Upanishad abrumeti. Upanishadam abrumeti. This is Uma's answer to Indra. I have I repeated this one. Don't worry about it. Tasya tapodama karmeti pratishtha vedaha sarvangani satyamayatnam yo va etamevam veda apahatya papmanam anante swarge doke jeye pratitishthati. So these are the 2 sentences we are trying to understand. This is where 7 and 8. No, 8 and 9. 8 and 9. Tasyai tapodamhas karmeti pratishtha vedaha sarvangani satyamayatanam. So this is where we are. We'll go further. Okay. After the Uktate Upanishad, Brahmīm vāvate Upanishadam abrūma. Look at this says. Here, Uktate Upanishad, Brahmīm vāvata te Upanishad abrūmeti. This is what we are trying to explain here. What is Brahmīm vāva? That means the subtle aspects of Upanishad only, which leads to the realization of Brahman, Brahmīm. I have told you. So this is what is said early. The word Brahmī, see, we have to understand Brahmīm as brahma-prāpika. That means the process by which one gets contact with Brahman and realizes Brahman. So obviously, what do you call in Shankara Bhashya probably Brahmani bhava. That is, Brahmi means to become Brahman. That's what it is said, right? To be in the state of Brahman, because that is what the truth is. So grammatically, what Sampathanga says does not make sense, because Brahmi means it has to be going towards Brahman, brahma-prāpika only. That is, this particular argument comes even in the Brahma Nirvāṇam Pṛcchati, the 2nd chapter, final stroke also, right? Here, Sampathanga reminds us that, okay, this may not be grammatically so friendly to Shankaracharya's view here. That's one thing. Second thing is he mentions Anandagiri does. A commentator in Advaita, a later commentator says in his Gītā commentary, respects the grammatical law, even within Advaita, saying that Brahmi there should mean Brahma Vishaya Nishtha, intentness on Brahman. That is to what do you call something about Brahman, not exactly being Brahman. So he knows that there is a grammatical issue. Many times, sometimes, not many times, some rarely Shankaracharya may bulldoze the grammar, but he is so knowledgeable, people won't even question him. Or people don't even want to mess with him in a way. And my grandfather doesn't care. He uses the strategy of Ramanuja.org and the later acharyas to, and in fact, even Madhvacharya does that, right? So to question the grammatical correctness here. Next. See, Pratibodha was said, Pratibodha Viditam Matam Amritatva Me Vidati, that was said in the second chapter of fourth shloka itself. So there it was very clearly mentioned that a yogi sees the Supreme Personality and becomes Pratibuddha, or ready to attain moksha. So Pratibuddha means ready to attain moksha kind of thing, enlightened in a way. That's what is the meaning of Pratibuddha. So here, Sampath Iyengar reminds that there is a deity necessary. Deity means who are you praying to? Devata is very important. Like the Ramanuja Sampradaya people, he prefers what do you call prefers the deity of worship to be Sriman Narayana, not Brahma or Shiva. So he mentions some verse in support of it. Okay, this is common because even Vedanta Deshika in the Ishavasya Upanishad, Ishavasya Midagam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagate, the first mantra, he gives a lot of arguments to support that Isha there refers to Sriman Narayana. So this is the same idea he brings in, that is Sampath Iyengar brings in here. Here there is another problem, issue he focuses on. Pratibodha is a gift from the Supreme Deity given after the yogi, given after the yogi succeeds in mature yoga. So the mature yoga is the third part of it, that is Atma Shariraka Paramatma Upāsanā, knowing Brahman as the inner soul, inner antaryami of yourself. That is the mature yoga. So that is explained in the Tadvanamiti Upasitavyam. Okay, the third type of Upasana matures only by his grace. So to deserve it, one must obey him. Look at the interesting point Sampath Iyengar is making. 1 second. Here, let me come back here. He is referring to, there are three sentences, as you know, right? The first is the Adhidaivata Upasana, which is explained in number 4 of the 4th chapter. That is, Tasya Isha Adesho Etat Vidyuto Vidyutada Iti Inyami Mishada Ityadhidaivatam. That is 4th. That is the Adhidaivata Upasana. Then Atha Dhyatmam Yadetat Gacchathi Vachamanonena Chaya Etadupasmaratya Bhikshnam Sankalpaha. That means the second stage is Adhyatma Upasana. That is said in the 4th chapter, 5th shloka. Tadha Tadvanam Nama Tadvanam Ityupasitavyam Saya Etadevam Veda Bihainagam Sarvani Bhutani Samvanchanti. This is the third stage. That is the Vana Ityupasana. That is the Swatma Shariraka Paramatma Upasana according to Sampath Iyengar. So he breaks things up into the yogic stages. That's his constant, he is obsessed with that, let us put it this way, but it's also his unique contribution to the study of Kena Upaniṣad. Now come back. See, Upanishad was already said. right? And what did Uma continue? Upanishad abrumeti. I already told you the Upanishad. But tasyai tapo damaha karmeti pratishtha vedaha sarvangani satyamayatanam. There are prerequisites. There are some rules to follow. And this is where Satyaṅga reminds us, first of all, the third stage, which was the Swatma Sharirika Paramatma Upāsanā, said in the Vana Upāsanā, Upasitavyam, that only becomes complete when blessed by the Lord. And grace of the Lord is necessary. To get the grace of the Lord, you have to follow rules and regulation. And those rules and regulation are given here. Tasya tapo damah karmeti pratishtha veda sarvangani. Let us go and understand what these rules are. So to deserve the third, the blessings and grace for the third type of upasana, one must obey him. Upasana is the main religion, but it has strict prerequisites. So without prerequisites, the upasana does not work. Without honoring these prerequisites, no headway is made. That means it's very hard to improve and make progress. These prerequisites apply to upasana known as vidya in its third stage. Clarification on vidya: many consider all three stages of upasana as vidyas. However, the first two, collectively known as ahangraha upasana, are qualificatory to the third. Therefore, they are vidyas only in the secondary sense, as stated in the Mundaka Upanishad. So the word vidya refers to the third level only, that is vanam ityupasitavyam only. And the first two are sort of loosely called vidyas. The the three qualifying practices are tasyai tapo dama karmeti pratishtha. Look back at the verses properly, right? The verses say tasyai tapo damaha karmeti pratishtha. Tasyai, for that, tapaha damaha karma iti pratishtha. That is the foundation. What does it mean? The foundation means pratishtha is tapaha, austerity, damaha, control, and karma, action. So the limbs / supportives are sarvangani. The limbs, angani means limbs actually. The Vedas and all the ancillaries to it, all the angas to it. Home is ayatanam, satyam. So the what do you call, for that the strict things to be followed, you need a home, that is satyam, that is good character and conduct. So let us go a little bit further in this. Character and conduct are considered the home of the Vedas, because Vedas do not exist where character and conduct are not there. Satyam is also truth in humanism. Humanism means Manushyatva. That means you have to be considerate to everybody wherever they are born, in whichever country, race, a language they speak, how they look. Everything you have to be kind to everybody. That is Manushyatva. If you have to treat them like how you treat yourself, that is fundamental. That is known as humanism. If you go Google humanism, you'll get much more details about it. And the word humanism is something which I never used often, right? I don't use it while I have limited knowledge of English, but I don't use it often. That's why go check out how in philosophy, what does humanism mean? So I tried to do some study at that time. So there are three rare blessings. It's very, very important. It says Trividam Durlabham Loke. One thing, there's a very nice verse here. I forgot to copy it. I'll try to find that. Trividam Durlabham Loke. Right? Manushyatvam Mumukṣutvam Mahāpuruṣa-saṅgha, it says. Let me bring that verse later. Mainly it says, it is very difficult And this is available to you only due to divine favor. To be just a human being, to be considerate to everybody, that's not going to be easy for people to just get it. They might become angry, rude to people, discriminate. All these things may occur due to their own social and social, political, geographical surroundings, right? So you need divine favor. Family surroundings also matter. Desire for liberation, Mumukṣutva. Mumukṣutva means they have to go beyond life and say achievements here with money or wealth or happiness here is insufficient. And there's something more to find myself who I am and to find my true state. And that is release from the cycle of births and deaths. Why am I stuck in this body? This kind of desire is not easy to achieve. And that also is a divine favor. Association with great people. Mahāpuruṣa-saṅgha. Mahāpuruṣa-saṅgha is very, very important. To find the right teacher. It's a very hard work, believe me. You have to you have to search, and that doesn't come from your human effort. It comes from divine help. Don't ever think that you found somebody. You didn't find somebody. Somebody helped you. Somebody hidden helped you, and that is divine. The Vedas and the auxiliaries are important. Home of the Vedas are important, right? Why is humanism a rarity? Because people lack faith in the Vedas as eternal, impersonal text and the voice of God. They lack the faith. How would anybody get faith? So you need the right teachers to understand and to constantly guide you about it, to have faith in the Vedas. It's very hard. Otherwise, who said so? Oh, in the Vedas. Who cares about Vedas? Why should I believe in the Vedas? These kind of constant questions always come up. Tools for interpretation. Once Vedas are hard to understand, you need grammar and logic. Kāna Paniniyam cha sarva shastropakarakam. So study of grammar and logic. Without that, original Vedas cannot be understood. That too, Vedic usage of terms are very difficult. So how do we understand? We ask other people who have already gone through these kind of studies to help us out. So what is the foundation for salvation and how to get to Upāsanā? That is, there are 3 layers. The foundation to build the living quarters for salvation has 3 layers. Karma, action is one. First is tapas. What is tapas? Tapas is a very powerful word covering the entire field of religion. What is religion? Religion is practice of knowledge. That's all. This is where tapas is very important. So we said first one is tapaha, damaha, karma. These are the 3 important requirements for that, right? Tapas is the first one. And tapas is explained in this Taittiriya Aranyaka, which is Ritam tapaha, Satyam tapaha, Shrutam tapaha. What does it mean? Ritam tapaha, seeing the rhythm in the universe and acknowledging an all-powerful, omniscient, guiding being. That is understanding very early that not everything is controlled by things you think they are being controlled, like us or people or that, and they're not controlling. There is some kind of a very powerful, one universal Lord, God, who may be hidden, who is controlling everything. And this comes from some trust. Satyam, moving with the current set by the Almighty through character and conduct. Be sincere. Karmanyekam, vachasekam, manasekam. Think, speak, and do all these with some sincerity and morality. Conduct is very important. Shrutam, hearing. Learning humanism by hearing from great people who have successfully adopted the process. So without the human connect, you will not be able to find out what is moral, what is not moral, what is right conduct, what is not right conduct, what is right character and what is not right character. This is very hard. Shantam, calming your mind, that is having a calm mind. It is not easy. Dhanam, charity, becoming friends of society by giving without expecting returns. Helping other people, very important. This is something I feel many of the Vedanta scholars and all, including me, they may ignore this. This is very, very important to give charity and help out. And many other religions have done a very good job there, actually. And Vedanta people might have escaped it, are not given, may not have given much priority. I have seen in Buddhism, in Jainism, in Christianity, and in maybe even in Islam, they give a lot of importance to charity. It's very important. And sometimes in the Hindu religion and in the generic Vedic religion, that too, Advaita, Advaita, and all, charity becomes a little bit devalued. They give so much priority to something else and forget charity. That's very important. Charity makes you not so money-minded. It takes away, then you know that money is just a tool. Otherwise, without charity, people can become greedy and things like that. Yajna, the goodwill of the subordinate deities. That is, there are so many subordinate deities like Indra, Varuna, Rudra, and all who are sitting inside your body as we speak. You can't get rid of them. So yajnas are prescribed to appease them. They are important. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaham is there. Upāsanā, that means the inevitable last course adopted in 3 stages, and the third stage being very important, that is tad vanam nitupasitavyam. So look at how the prerequisites are put together in a good order so that you know that these are all important. So in practical life, adopting all the 7 courses in one lifetime is very difficult. This is the problem with our system in a way. These are all very difficult in one lifetime. Some may be able to do only charity. Some may be able to do only mind control. Some may be able to do something else. But the 4th of them, calming the mind, Dama, using pranayama or using breathing exercises, properly taught by somebody good. That is very important. So that is why in the word satyantapaha, ritantapaha, satyantapaha, shutantapaha, shantam tapaha, the 4th one is very important. Have a kind mind. Have a calm mind. You know, one acharya of mine, Dr. N.S. Anantarangacharya, used to tell me this particular verse very often. Saeva sarva shastrajnaha yasya shantam manasada. He used to say, he knows all the scriptures anywhere in this universe, all the scriptures, if he has a very calm mind, or if he has a mind which is calm all the time. This is something I fail miserably, so I am the last person to teach this, but I'm going to just repeat it the way I studied and understood, that's all. I'm not a good follower of this, but I have to try to follow it. Alternative. If pranayama is difficult, because you need to have learning, you need to understand how to do it right. There may be some wrong ways of pranayama. If you do it and you become mentally disturbed or even mentally derailed. So it's very important to learn pranayama from a very capable person. So that may not be easy, but one could just practice karma yoga, that is working without any personal interest. working for the good of others as an ordinance of God, described in the Gītā as corporal, verbal, and mental tapas. In the Gītā, 17th chapter, 14 to 16, 14, 15, and 16 verses are pretty important. And that gives an alternative known as Karma Yoga. This he says, Devadvija Guru Prajna Pujanam Shauchamarjavam Brahmacharya Mahimsa Cha Shariram Tapauchyate. Devadvija, that is Guru Prajna Pujanam. Worship the Devatas, knowledgeable people, gurus. Shaucham, Arjavam, cleanliness in body, mind, and intellect. Arjavam, being truthful and do what is right, and the same thing, you should not think one thing, do one thing and speak something else. Brahmacharyam, Brahmacharyam is to not have attachment beyond dharma. You know what it is, right? It is staying. Celibacy is not exactly the word given to brahmacharya. The thing is not thinking that some other being is an object of enjoyment only. That even mentally, that is brahmacharya. And ahimsa. Oops. Okay, what happened? Just a second. Ahimsa. Do not cause any injury to anybody else. Shariram tapochate. All these are the penance of the body. So a body should be kept in this way. Anudvegakaram vakyam, speech, which I have to learn a lot. We should not excite anyone. We should not make others angry or upset or sad, or have to promote calmness in others also. Our speech should be measured. Anugve vakyam satyam, be truthful in words. Don't say lies. Priyahitam chayate, also be kind and tell something which is useful for others. Swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva, study and teach. Swadhyaya is, here Swadhyaya also means learning the Vedas by heart. And that is, Swadhyaya is not just that, not word learning only. By uttering it truly, you will also try to understand, think about the meanings of the Vedas while chanting. That becomes a tapas of its kind. That is a mental tapas. That is why many people use, Parayana. They call it Ramayana Parayana. They read Ramayana every day in the morning, like the Bhagavata Parayana or the Veda Adhyayana Parayana, Veda Parayana. There's all thinking and speaking about, that is chanting it constantly. Chaiva Vangmayam Tapa Uchyate. This is vocal tapas, the tapas of the tongue, tapas of the speech. Manah Prasada Samyatyam Maunam Atma Vinigraha Bhava Samshuddhiretat Tapo Manasamuchyate. What is the penance of the mind? The mind be calm. Don't have any kind of ups and downs, like lot of what do you call them? If you are very upset, very sad, despair, or elated for some reason beyond reality, they are all not signs of good calmness. Saumyatvam, that's also in a different way of don't be harsh. Maunam, Atma Vigraha, spend some time in silence. Not every time talking to others, doing that, doing this. Then what happens is you are not using your mind properly. You have to spend some time in silence. Maunam, Atma Vinigraha, control of mind in every way. Bhava Samshuddhi, these are the purification of our mind. And this is also a tapas, a penance of the mind. This is mind manasamuchyate, that is penance of the mind. Here the last verse is Yova etamevam vedapahatya papmanam anante swarge loke jyeye pratitishthati. The teacher concludes the Kena Upaniṣad here. The result of this is properly adopted knowledge leads to eternal heaven, that is only the highest heaven, not just the Indra's heaven, but beyond. And what is known as Vaikuntha. Or some may call it as Goloka, some may call it Kailasa. It's their view, but it is the highest heaven. That is why it says. Sanskrit meaning is he who gains and implements this knowledge absolves himself of all papas or sins and settles eternally in the infinite supreme heaven. Final note, the Vedanta explained in these 4 sections is embedded in the Shanti mantra. So this is a Shanti mantra has all this inside it. That Shanti mantra will be explained to you next time we meet. So for now, I was not prepared. I have prepared, I have studied the Shanti mantra, but I don't have the slides put together. So it's better to do this after I have the slides put together next time. So with this, I stop. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Swami, Kena Upaniṣad is anywhere been reflected in Bhagavad Gītā?
I didn't understand. Kena Upaniṣad reflected in Bhagavad Gita? What did you mean?
Yeah, miss in Bhagavad Gita anywhere Lord Krishna is mentioning from Kena Upaniṣad? Because we see from Kathopanishad and Ishavasya Upanishad, Lord Krishna is mentioning, but from Kena Upaniṣad anywhere Krishna is pointing out any verses?
I don't have the answer for you yet. I don't know. I have to check. You could also check by Googling or something. Sometimes ChatGPT gives these things very well. I don't know. I have to search. I have to search.
Oh.
Any other question? Do you have any issues with what I said today? Any oppositions? Any disagreements?
For me, not just following religious texts per se, but any kind of belief or dogma can be turned into something destructive, right? And it can become very, very stagnant as well.
What do you mean by that? Tell me, explain to me a little bit. Give some small examples, however good or bad they are.
No, all I'm trying to say is that in spirituality, it is to transcend our own ignorance, right?
True.
All the things that we have considered to be true, we are trying to understand from a reliable source whether that is the case.
Yes.
And the whole idea is to clarify all our misunderstandings and then be free from it, right?
Yes.
In this process, anything that we believe without knowing for sure is going to be an impediment to the goal, right?
No doubt about it. Yes. See what
So it
happens.
is.
See, it's a very we got to be very cautious. It only comes through maturity, right? See, think about how we grow up. We are in now middle age or older age or whatever it is, right? When we are little children, what do we do? We believe in our parents, and whatever they say is right, right? Or you won't get fed if you don't obey them, right? So you probably won't know, and you assume that what was given to. That is why it's saying that a lot of things are blessings. That means you don't choose your parents, you don't choose where you live, and things like that. So a lot of this, because of our age and situation, they're just given as routine practices you need to practice. And good or bad, right? That's why you start with. You have no other go. Anybody, not just you, anybody. That's the only go we have.
Yeah, what I was trying to get at is that even those practices that are not rooted in some dogma, a religious dogma or anything as such, even those can be turned into that. Once somebody starts believing into something and they're saying that, oh, I believe in this, or you might believe in something else, and all these kinds of arguments, which is not about the subject matter and about what I think, what you think, can be turned into
True.
this, right?
Definitely, that's not destructive. That could become destructive. It depends on how seriously somebody believes and implements the situation. Sometimes it can be destructive. Sure. And that is where you have to raise above religion. Religion is very general guidance. Because See, human beings are of so many million kinds, right? So there is no general rule really. How do you generalize? The Vedas are trying, the Kena Upaniṣad is trying to give you some very general guidance, that's all. And religion itself is a guidance. That's why very clearly in that mention, not everybody will know all the 7 principles here. In one lifetime, you may be able to start with only a little bit of karma yoga, charity, help other people. That's maybe that's the only beginning you have. Then only you will have to understand. See, most people don't even believe there is we last beyond the body, right? Most people don't believe. So developing that trust that I am not a person who will just die when the body dies. There's something remains, something goes to the next body or something. I still have life. That itself is a very big question mark for most people. All they think is this is the life we have. Enjoy right now. Do the best. Do whatever you want. That's normal feeling, right? So it's not easy to get out of the normal and go beyond it. And religion is just rough idea given to people. And that is why if you become too much on the text, if you believe that this order have to be followed, it should be followed, that should be followed, and if the religion becomes a text, then you won't think beyond the text. And whoever knows the text is perfect. And you have to blindly follow it. That is where it becomes fanatism, dogma, fanatism. I don't even know the perfect meaning of word dogma, but that can make things worse for people or other people around them. You don't know.
Yeah, and then this is now become very common to even Indian texts as well.
Sure, 100%. You're right. That is the people we don't understand. We and many people around us are very textbookish. Oh, this is said here like this, you should do this. This is said like this, you should do this. You should not do this because it's said like this. They literally use this and apply to the wrong, many times to the wrong situation, to the wrong people. Okay? See, I'm just telling you a wild event which happened recently. Finally, I went to a marriage yesterday where it was some great grandchild of my grandfather, my teacher, Sampatanga's, that is my brother, that is my grandfather's brother. Their great grandchildren, one of them were getting married, and all our cousins and other people, lots and lots of people we met in the marriage. And I was thinking how many people are following what my great grandfather was telling and his knowledge of the subjects and his type of thinking. Among so many people, I couldn't find pretty much anyone who is so deeply involved in his works. They couldn't care what he wrote or what he thought. So he passed away in 1982. And we are talking 2025, 25 plus say 20, some 43, 44 years. Within this time, after his death, nobody remembers what he did. His contributions, this one. I never found many people deeply interested in it. It will get lost. And that is why I remember one shloka in the Bhagavad Gītā, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. So genetically also, things cannot transmit to the next generation. Genes are lying today. Genes don't give you the background you need. Life is changing. The world is changing. I was thinking about it. When did the world change so much? Probably when the aeroplanes were invented and the atom bomb. These two things made the world a completely different world than the peaceful world we were. Though we were ruled by different people in the world, different foreign rulers were ruling us. But probably the things were much more peaceful. And most of these acharyas like Shankaracharya, Ramanuja.org, Madhvacharya lived in times where their own states were ruled by foreign powers. But somehow they could escape and happily have a philosophical and religious life. That's interesting.
Swami, one of the biggest problems is the words themselves. They tend to mean different things at different points of time, even the same
True.
words, and then they don't have the same connotation or the effect when that time has passed. And the
You're right.
social acceptance of those words also matters a lot. So whatever we say today is going to be valid for only so much time.
Yeah.
People
This
have
is a
to figure
very
out what you meant in, like,
def- definitely, definitely. Another thing is, I was reading a tracing the meaning of Maya right from the Rig Veda all the way to the Rig Veda is one of the oldest works, right? So right from the times of Rig Veda, some 10,000 years ago to the modern view, what does Maya mean? Very interesting. Initially in the Upanishad, Maya means only power. That's all. And someday, in matter, that is Prakriti, this universe. That's all it matters. But it has taken different meanings in the works of Shankaracharya and in the works of later Advaitians and things like that. And even in Buddhism, by the way, maybe Buddhism uses a different word other than Maya. Okay, yeah. True. That is, even the speech is misleading. The words are misleading. Sanskrit is misleading because context and everything changes over period of time. That is why the whole Brahma Vidya is very difficult.
This last time one Mr. Adi was saying about Satya Anrute in somewhere. I thought Anrute is Asatya, but when I spoke with Adi, he said me no. So Anrute means as per Shankara, it is Vyavarika Satya. Then only I came to know about that meaning.
True, because
Because I was confused. I also don't know.
Yeah, see, common Sanskrit uses Anrita as life. Come, what do you call Satyam bruyat nanritam. Even in the modern poems people write, they use the term Anrita as life. Untrue. That is not the real meaning of the word Anrita.
That's what after it took 2 years for me to understand that meaning. That meaning Anrute is really.
Yeah, it
Strictly
happens.
speaking, it took even Pratibodha Vidita Matam took me 2 years after your that 13th class video only I understood that meaning. What is Pratibodha Vidita Matam?
True.
It was very complicated. You cannot.
All these are complicated. That is the whole problem. and lifetimes will go away us studying this. One thing though, that is why some other practice is necessary beyond studies, right? Studies is not complete. Any other question?
No, one comment is, since there are different interpretations of the same word like pratibodha, finally, does it believing in some particular definition or some particular thought, is it actually finally based on the samskaras and then the left to the individual then?
Good question. You have to think about this in a different way. Okay. It is visible only when you get the realization from some blessings. So whether it comes through blessings or not, whether it comes through your self-effort or blessings or a combination of the two, doesn't matter. But in this state of knowledge, whatever state you are in, the real meanings of the word pratibodha won't be understood. That is why they say realization is final, not textbooks, not scriptures. You have to realize everything as it is, truly. That is why it says Brahma Sakshatkara. Sakshatkara is realization. Truly see as it is. Like how we see, a thing in front of us. How we see a computer. So if you truly know what it is. You have to realize truth in all its millions of dimensions actually by realizing Brahman. When you know Brahman, you know everything. And that is why the Vedic religion places absolute final state to realization. These words mean
we also have to pray Bhagavan for giving the true meaning.
True.
One thing
Yes,
self-effort. But as you told,
the prayer is important even in Advaita. In Advaita, you will never get rid of Paramatma till you go beyond the Triputi. That is where knower, known, and means of knowing all dissolve. That comes only because that is where what do you call Ishvara Anugraha Deva Pumsam Advaita Bhavana. Only through the blessings of Ishvara you will get the final Advaita state. That is there even among Advaitins. So that's a common Vedic principle. By the way, Wayne G has raised his hand. I didn't even see. What's up, Wayne? What do you want?
Well, I'll make it quick. In my daily meditation, a subject comes up quite often, and it's the idea of that's in several different religions is God created man in His own image, and what it really means. So I did an AI search and stuff, and asking what does this really mean? Is it image, and how does that relate to imagination? And it was quite interesting. So I'll send it to you, and if you want to repost it to everybody, it's fine.
Sure, send it to
but
me.
It was quite interesting.
Definitely, I'll check it out. That's good point.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Any other? Oh, we are already running out of time. We have to leave because they're getting onto the bridge. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Nasima Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Stop it.
Namaskar.